Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English for Beginners, the podcast. I am your host, Jasmine, and I am joined, as always, by my wonderful co-host, Mike. We are absolutely thrilled to have you here with us today for what I think is one of our most important episodes yet.
Thanks, Jasmine. I'm excited too. This podcast has always been about one thing: learning real English. We don't want to talk about the English you find in old, dusty textbooks from the 1980s. We want to talk about the English that people actually use when they meet for coffee, when they collaborate at work, or when they share their dreams with friends.
Exactly. And if you're someone who enjoys learning through real conversations, simple explanations, and a friendly, relaxed atmosphere, please don't forget to follow our podcast. Your support helps us reach so many more learners around the world who are on the same journey as you.
All right, everyone, let's take a second. Wherever you are, maybe you're on a bus, or doing the dishes, or just sitting in a quiet room, let's relax. Take a deep breath. Learning shouldn't feel like a battle. It should feel like an invitation.
That's a beautiful way to put it, Mike. So let's start with a little honesty session. Mike, what was the biggest hurdle for you when you were first getting comfortable with English?
Oh, that's easy. It was the little words, specifically to and for. I remember my English was getting better. I could talk about my day and my hobbies, but every time I reached a point in a sentence where I had to choose between to or for, I would panic. My heart would beat a little faster, and I'd just pick one at random.
I did the same thing. They are tiny words, just 2 or 3 letters, but they cause massive trouble. The irony is that native speakers use them hundreds of times a day without even noticing. It's like breathing to them. But for a learner, that choice between to and for can feel like a life or death decision for the sentence.
Should I say to or for? That's the question that never sleeps. So today, we are going to demystify these words. We aren't going to look at complex grammar charts. Instead, we're going to look at the feeling behind the words.
Let's start with a real life scenario from this morning. Mike, tell the listeners what happened when we met up at the studio.
Well, Jasmine was already here, and she was being very kind. She said, "Mike, I made coffee for you."
And then what did I do right after that?
You realized you forgot the sugar, so you walked to the kitchen.
There it is. In those two simple actions, we have the core difference. I made the coffee for Mike. Mike is the person who gets the coffee. He is the receiver or the beneficiary. But when I moved my body from the studio to the kitchen, I moved to a place.
So a simple way to start thinking about it is to often shows direction or movement. For often shows who receives the benefit of an action.
Right, but we have to be careful because to isn't just about walking or driving, it's also about movement of intention. If I give a book to you, the book is moving from my hand to yours.
That's a great point. But if I say I bought this book for you, I'm talking about the reason I bought it. My sister loves mystery novels, so yesterday I went to the bookstore to buy a gift for her.
Look at that sentence. You used to twice and for once, and it sounded perfectly natural. You moved to the store, direction. You went to buy, intention or action, and the gift was for her, benefit.
I think another big confusion comes when we talk about why we do things. Jasmine, why do you spend so much time recording these episodes?
I record these episodes to help people.
And if I asked you who you do it for?
I do it for the learners.
Perfect. This highlights another pattern. We usually use to before a verb, an action. I am here to speak. I am here to learn. I am here to improve.
But we use for before a noun, a thing or a person. I am here for my job. I am here for my future. I am here for my confidence.
I see this mistake a lot in the comments. Someone will say, I am here to learn English. It feels almost right, but it's not quite there. It should be, I am here to learn English, or I am here for my English lessons.
Exactly. To is for the action you want to perform. For is for the reason or the person behind the action.
Let's talk about that moment where the brain freezes. You know the one, where you're in the middle of a sentence, you know exactly what you want to say, but you stop because you're worried about the grammar.
Oh, I know it well. It's the grammar ghost. It whispers in your ear and makes you doubt yourself. But here's the secret. Native speakers don't have a grammar rule book in their heads when they speak. They have a feeling book.
I agree. And you only get that feeling by listening to the rhythm of the language. If you say, I listen to music, it has a certain flow. If you say, I listen for music, it sounds like you're waiting for a sound to happen in the distance.
That's a subtle but important difference. I listen to music is the activity. I listen for the doorbell means I am waiting for it to ring.
Let's try some more everyday patterns. Jasmine, what do you do when you're stressed?
When I'm stressed, I go for a walk or I go for a run.
Those are set phrases. We don't say I go to a walk because a walk isn't a destination, it's an activity we're doing for our own benefit.
But I might go to the park for a walk.
Now we're getting fancy. But it makes sense. The park is the destination, to, and the walk is the reason, for.
Here is a trick that helped me when I was learning. Think of to as looking forward and for as looking backward.
Explain that. That sounds interesting.
Okay, imagine an apology. You say, I'm sorry for being late. You are looking backward at the thing that already happened. The lateness is the reason for the apology.
Okay, that makes sense. And to?
You say, I came here to apologize. You are looking forward. Your intention is to perform the action of apologizing.
Wow. I'm sorry for the mistake, backward reason, versus I am here to fix the mistake, forward action.
Exactly. Or think about a phone call. I called to ask you a question. Forward intention. Thank you for calling me. Backward, the action happened.
That is such a helpful way to visualize it. If our listeners can start to feel that forward and backward movement, they'll start choosing the right word much more often.
Let's look at a few danger zones, places where learners often trip up. Mike, have you heard people say, I'm waiting to you?
Oh, all the time. It should be I'm waiting for you.
Why for?
Because you are the reason I am standing here. I am waiting to receive you. However, I might say I'm waiting to see you. There's that to plus verb rule again.
What about explain? This one is a big one.
Yes, people often say, can you explain me the problem? Or explain for me. But in English, you always explain something to someone. Information moves from my brain to your brain.
Can you explain this to me? But I might do the explanation for you if you are busy.
Right. If you're a teacher and you're sick, I might teach the class for you. I am doing it as a favor or a benefit to you, but I am speaking to the students.
Mike, I want to take a moment to speak directly to the people listening right now. If you are feeling frustrated because you still aren't sure which one to use, please listen carefully. It is okay.
It really is. We spend all this time talking about the differences, but the truth is, if you say, I made this gift to you instead of for you, the person receiving the gift is still going to be happy. They will understand you perfectly.
Communication is the goal. Perfection is a myth. Even advanced learners and native speakers make mistakes. I've heard native speakers mix up prepositions when they're tired or talking fast.
The most important thing is that you don't let the fear of a small word stop you from speaking. If you stop in the middle of a sentence to think about to or for, you break the connection with the person you're talking to.
Exactly. Use the feeling method. If you aren't sure, just keep talking. The more you talk, the more your brain will naturally start to hear which one sounds right.
Think about how children learn. They don't have grammar books. They just listen and copy.
They say I wented to the store until one day they've heard I went enough times that it just clicks.
Your brain is a wonderful pattern matching machine. By listening to this podcast, you are feeding your brain the patterns it needs.
Let's do a quick round of 2 or 4. I'll give a situation and you give the sentence, Jasmine.
I'm ready.
Situation: you're at a restaurant and you're buying lunch for a friend.
I am buying lunch for my friend. I am giving the menu to the waiter.
Situation: you're studying late at night.
I am studying to pass my exam. I am studying for my degree.
Situation: you're on the phone with your mom.
I am talking to my mom. I am doing this for her because she was worried.
Situation: you're at the gym.
I am going to the gym to get healthy. I am doing it for myself.
See? When you look at it through the lens of life, it starts to make sense. It's not about rules, it's about the story you're telling.
Mike, as we start to wrap up, what's one piece of advice you'd give to someone who feels like they're struggling to make progress?
I would say be kind to your future self.
I love that. What does it mean?
It means that every time you practice today, even if it feels messy, even if you get every 2 and 4 wrong, you are making it easier for the you of next month. You are building the muscle.
That's so true. You aren't learning English for an exam. You're learning it to have a voice in the world. You're doing it for your freedom and your opportunities.
And remember, confusion is a sign of growth. If you weren't confused, it would mean that you weren't trying to learn anything new. Clarity always comes after a period of confusion. It's just how the brain works.
So keep listening. Keep repeating the sentences you hear. Don't worry about being fast. Worry about being consistent.
And most importantly, enjoy the process. English is a beautiful, flexible, and living thing. It belongs to you just as much as it belongs to us.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. It truly is a privilege to be a part of your English journey.
We'll be back soon with more conversations, more tips, and more friendly vibes. Until then, keep practicing and keep believing in yourself.
I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Mike.
And this has been English for Beginners, the podcast.
Goodbye, everyone. See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.